Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. Both tonight's nightcaps are motorcycle related, as well as a little bit of car boot sale stuff I bought this morning. The first one is a Kawasaki K500 water pump drive shaft build up, and the second one is a Honda CR125 swinging arm. Once again a weld build up and machine back job. These are becoming very popular motorcycle repairs. I did a KTM crankcase a month ago, and that's actually had nearly 100,000 views inside a month. This coming Saturday and Sunday is another one of our local steam rallies, Chesley Street Steam Rally. I'll be there with the Sentinel steam wagons. There's loads of stuff there, well worth going to see. It's a 70th anniversary and there's more engines there than ever. So if you're into steam, old cars, motorbikes, there's reenactment there as well. Have a look down. I'll be there. Please come and say hello. Don't forget, as well as this YouTube channel, I also have a Patreon channel where you get to see things a bit earlier. There's no adverts at all, more swearing, and things are a little bit more in depth. It's only £1 a week to join, so why not have a look and give us a little bit more support. I've got a water pump drive here of a Kawasaki KX500 1986, and the lad can't get one. What's happened is the coolant has actually eroded the shaft away there. As a bearing goes on, that's the bearing fit there, and that's all worn away. I can't weld it, it's too thin. I don't want to put too much heat into it. What I'll probably do is grip it in the lathe, clean that up, and then see if I can put some brass onto it, probably silicon bronze, just using the oxy heat. Just braze it up and then machine it and polish it back to shape. You can't get one, so it's certainly worth a go at repairing it. See how thin the wall is. At least there's a centre there, so I can pick that centre up. So that's the plan. We'll get it in the lathe, get that cleaned up. I'm going to grip the gear in the collar chuck because it's a lot less damaging than a 3-jaw chuck could be, and it will hold it central. And like I said, I also put a centre in there as well, just to make sure. Right, so that's running nice and true. A nice sharp tool, and just take a little bit off there. With a really sharp, high-speed steel tool here, which should do the job for us quite nicely. We shall find out how hard this is or how hard it isn't. I think it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. I think we're going to need carbide to do anything with that. Some careful with the parting tool could do the job nicely for us. I think that's probably enough. Right, so I've got some silicon bronze rod here. Got some proper brazen flux, some old-fashioned stuff that I know works. Kind of want this to a red heat. About there. It's doing the job. Definitely building it up. Right, hopefully I've got enough brass on there for it to clean up. I'm having problems with this pushing into the chuck. I can't seem to grip it tight enough. I think that'll be enough. I suppose I could try some silver soda. There's just those two places there. Right, I've put some silver solder onto it. You can see how it's really stuck and really travelled. It's much thinner than the brazing material. Be really careful here so we can get this thing down to size now. I don't want to take anything off that shaft. I just want to get down to the original size of it, which is going to get near there. I'm getting a little bit pissed off with this now. I really am. There's a little mark there, but I'm sure the seal will run on that. Give it a light polish with memory and then go from there basically. There, it was tight there, so that's basically good enough. I found this at the car boot sale this morning. It's a Greenfield tap wrench number 6. The threads are seized in there, but I'm sure it'll free off fairly easily. I've already got one of these that I got given. That's in the Greenfield number 10. You can see they're the same, out of the same stable. So all I want to do now is find the rest of the set. They really are nice to use. That one will clean up just as good as that one, and I actually paid £5 for that, so I don't think I was robbed. There's no wear in the square there. It hasn't obviously done much work. I'll get it frayed off, get it cleaned up, get it put away, and then hopefully we'll be able to use it. I also found this little indicator. I've got to want something similar somewhere. This is clever the way this one works. It's in really good condition. The screw heads haven't been damaged. Right, so it simply clamps on there, two little knurled nuts, simple as that. Right, so I've got it set up. I've got a bit of round bar in the chuck. We'll bring a cross slide in and put it in the middle, which is there. Right, so that shows that the chuck is running out. I know it is because I haven't actually zeroed the chuck. I don't know what the divisions actually mean, but we could find out. I'll put the DRO on just to have a look with interest. Right, we'll put it onto the 15 mark. I'll zero the DRO. 10th thou. Isn't that great? Zero there, which it is. 5. 10th thou. That's absolutely, I like it. This chuck is adjustable. If we loosen off the clamp bolt, so there's a little bit of wiggle room on the back plate. I did it like this on purpose. Right, running out 10th thou. I'm not sure how it works. We'll try it this way. Try knocking it like that. That's the wrong way. Fanny's hair. Right, I'll put my clock gauge on that I use all the time and see what that says. And that says exactly the same, less than a thou. All I do now is tighten up those 3 cap head bolts. Might not be tool room practice, but one in a tool room that works for me. And once this chuck set up like this, it's really good through its full range. There you go.